Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another live edition of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. Of course, you know I'm Joe. My guest TT will be here soon. Unfortunately, fans, sorry. TT's daughter, formerly known as Trixie the Game Master, she had game cancellations today, so she couldn't make it. So bummed. I was looking forward to having her back on the pod, but you know things happen. But I just want to talk about today before TT arrives. I was just at PPW's Super Show, and man, that show was phenomenal. There was so many awesome moments at that show that I want to share with you tonight. They had a ladder match. The main event was a ladder match, and man, that main event was phenomenal. It was so much fun. They had the trios match. Of course, unfortunately, as wrestling always happens, things like that have to happen. Our buddy, our former guest, Adrian Soriano, had to relinquish his world championship for a knee. He messed up his knee at, I guess, at a show during training or something. So he had to relinquish the title. I felt so bad for him because we took a picture with the belts, me and Balor Club guy. Shout out to Balor Club guy, my boy, my homie, way back dude. Yeah, that was sad that he had to relinquish his belts, and his team, they relinquished their trio championship. It was sad to see them all lose the titles all in the same day. They kind of like probably had no choice because when there's one guy down, they have to do something. So, like, things like that happen in the wrestling business. You know, you go to a show, you're fine, and then you go to your doctor, or you find out the next day that you injured your knee, injured your like back lifting something. Like Hogan with Andre, he hurt his third or fourth vertebrae in his back and stuff like that. Hey, everybody in the chat. I hope everybody's okay. Everybody's well. TT will be here soon. So how was your weekend of wrestling, everybody? Did everybody have a fun weekend? Did anybody go to any cool independent wrestling shows? Does anybody have any shows they've been to? Let me know. Just let me know what's going on. Is there any shows anybody went to? Anything like that? Has everybody been up to within the pro wrestling world? Has everybody gone to any shows? What's the hot thing? We know that a person from Long Island actually won the TBS title, a former legend from NYWC, one of our favorites, one of the people that we always know and love. She won the title. Shout out to her. There's a lot of things that are going on right now with wrestling. Right now, on Monday Night Raw, they're going to be doing a women's battle royal for the match. Who do you guys all think? Hey, hey, TT, come on in. Come click the StreamYard link and come hang out. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's hang out. Yeah. So, what do you guys all think? Do you think Liv Morgan is gonna win the actual she's gonna win the women's title on Raw? I personally think it's Liv because they keep talking and adding her up and saying, okay, Liv Morgan, Liv Morgan, Liv Morgan. But I personally think Liv Morgan is gonna win the world title. I don't know. I have this weird feeling about Liv. I think she's gonna win. We're all gonna be fooled because we all think they're gonna give it to everybody thinks they're gonna give it to Becky Lynch. And I don't think Becky Lynch is gonna win the title. I personally think I think Becky Lynch is gonna lose. I think either one or two things are gonna happen. Either Liv Morgan is gonna win the title, or we're gonna have Nia Jax win it and then find out she's injured. Something that always happens with WWE. It seems to happen every single time. Liv Morgan or one of these girls wins the title. They have a title for a few months, and then they give it to a person that they think that's more or needing for the belt. I personally think that Liv Morgan's winning the belt tonight. TT, if you're still in the chat on Facebook, I gave you the StreamYard room. You have to come that way to come in to do the show. So if you want to come on the show, the link's in Instagram. You could come in and hang out, and we do this fun thing. Have this fun talk. Yeah, everybody, comment below where you're watching from. That'll be fun. There you go. I'm from the Puckinos. Puckinos. Yeah. Yeah. WWE. So yeah, the indies right now are popping. Like out there in the chat, give us an update where you're watching from and who is like your favorite independent wrestler right now on the scene. Who in the scene is your favorite right now? Who is your favorite? I personally think, well, Adrian Soriano, even though he had to relinquish his title, he's my favorite independent wrestler on the scene right now. But also from Long Island, Joey Conway. There's a bunch of them here. Ah. Hey, what's going on? Indiana, wow. Long ways away. Don't forget, if you want to subscribe to the Joe Panther Variety Show on YouTube, I am 56 subscribers from 1,000. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel and give me a subscribe. It really helps me a lot. It really, really helps me a lot. It gets me over the hump. It gets me at my goal. My goal is at 1,000. Please subscribe. Here's the link if you want to subscribe. There's a link to the subscribe to the YouTube channel. Definitely give me a subscribe. It really helps me a lot. I have a goal. I want to get to 1,000. Yeah, definitely. Indiana. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Blackwell. Damian Blackwell. That's a good one. It's a lot of awesome independent wrestlers like that are not even from the East Coast that I encounter with the podcast, like Maddie Monarch. That's one that a lot of people don't know from the East Coast. And I feel like I'm the only one that knows her on the East Coast. Myself, Maddie Monarch. Who is that? She's a young wrestler and she's really good. You all should definitely go watch her episode we did like a charity for her cousin. Yeah, definitely give the YouTube channel a subscribe. I want to try to get the subscribers up by today. If you know 56 people that love professional wrestling and love watching interviews, enjoy these red glasses, subscribe. You'll be able to catch me anytime you want on the Joe Panther Variety Show here on YouTube. And also, if you want to listen to the podcast, it's on Spotify. I have to get back into my Spotify. For some reason, it does not want to go, but TT will be here soon. If not, I'll be here talking. So what do you guys like? What are some of the like the big events from like where you're watching from? What do they have any like big shows coming up, or like we just had the Super Show here in Pennsylvania for PPW? Or anywhere else? Anybody else in the chat? Where are you watching from? Let me know. Comment below where you're. Anybody else? Yeah, Blackwell. I've like. Is he a face? Is he a heel? What is he? A face or a heel? Thank you. Please share that on your Facebook. The Joe Panther Variety Show. Please share it and help me get to my goal. I really want to get to 1,000 subscribers, maybe higher, because it's harder these days to get to 1,000. But yeah, let's go. Let's roll. Let's get these up. And don't forget to push the like button here on Facebook and also on YouTube. Give the video a like. Yeah. So Monday Night Raw tonight. What are you guys all hoping for Raw? Face. Okay. Who is he currently in a rivalry with? Anybody that I know? Because I interview everybody. So like it's kind of hard because everybody's like, so what's your gap for interviewing? I'm like, whoever wants to sit down and talk. Like, yeah, we're supposed to have a family values, but it turned into Joe's values. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess DT's not coming. It's okay. So when it comes to professional wrestling, what matches do you mostly look forward to when you go to an independent wrestling show? Is it more or less the like ladder matches, the specialty matches? What matches do you all look forward to? I look forward to the street fights. I love the ladder matches. Um oh, we have oh, okay. We have Beat oh, okay, May. Wow. I live in the big. You know what's funny? I live in Pennsylvania, and I was talking to another podcaster, Can Crushers, and me and him jokingly were bragging about Pennsylvania wrestling. What state can you say that you have a member of the bloodline that runs its school in your state? I. It's so crazy. Yeah, definitely send them my Instagram, dudes at ringside, and I will try to get them on the podcast. I love when wrestlers, come and reach out to me, but sometimes I reach out to them and a lot of them, and it's the honest opinion, honest truth. A lot of professional wrestlers don't like going on podcasts because they're afraid that they're gonna have to break their character to do it. And I understand a lot of people are like, oh, bring on Becky Scareballs. Some wrestlers so deep in their characters that they can't break that fourth wall. And sometimes I don't want their characters to get broken. So we just do an interview like we're on a shoot. We're just talking. So just yeah, definitely Don, definitely share the YouTube channel. Tell them that Joe needs you to subscribe. Share the link to this right now on Facebook and put it on your Facebook so everybody can. Oh, and here we go. Let's give a warm dudes at ringside. Welcome to our friend and yours, TT the Island Girl. Welcome, TT.
Hello, let me turn my laptop off. I had to do this on my phone.
Yes, yeah.
And
Oh
I hear
no.
you talking on the
Share the.
there we go.
Oh jeez, there
Okay.
goes a viewer.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes, see you. Yes.
Okay. I had to do this on my phone.
Everybody,
So
welcome TT, the Island Girl from OVW. Welcome, TT.
aloha. Aloha. How is
So
everybody?
we're good. We got 5 people in the chat. We got 1 like on Facebook. We're in, and it's you.
That was me. I was like, I'm here.
I was like, TT, no, you got to go to StreamYard.
I know. And I was on my laptop and it was taking forever. So I had to copy the link and put it on my laptop, but then that wasn't working. So
I could have
it was
emailed it
best.
to you. I always do that for the wrestlers lately. I'm like, the wrestlers lately are like, no, I'm fine here. I'm like, if I email you it, it's not like I'm sending you a virus. It's the StreamYard room.
And I think that's what you did for me last time. That's why it
Yeah.
was like so confusing this time because I was like, I don't know where the link is. I couldn't find it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. So, TT, what have you been up to since the last time we hung out in the Dudes at Ringside Studios?
Oh gosh, I have been working a lot more on the indie circuit and basically just winning some some titles and working for OVW a lot more.
Yes. Donna says, welcome, TT.
Yay! Hi Donna.
Awesome.
Who was that?
That's awesome. Winning championships.
Yes.
How many titles
Right,
do you have right now?
right now I have 2 titles. And one is the IWA Women's Championship out of Mount Vernon, Illinois, and then the other one is for RWA, Renegade Wrestling Alliance in Pennsylvania.
Again, my state. What a coinky dink. What part of Pennsylvania? Because I'm in the Poconos. So
Okay. Gosh, I just had it in my head. It was a really quick trip. We were in and out. Geez, putting me
is it
on the
near
spot
Philly or is it
here.
near Pittsburgh?
I have no idea.
Oh no. Were the fans really, really good?
Carnegie?
Like there's
Is
some fans that
Carnegie?
are really good to the wrestlers. Oh, look, we have a fan there. Oh, he's from Northern Canada.
Oh, yes, I know Mike. Yes. Hey,
Mike, don't
Mike.
forget to subscribe.
Yeah, so we were in and out really fast because it was a long drive. Um, for me, it was about 15 hours. So
Wow.
I broke it up though. I jumped in another car and got to ride the other half. So I didn't have to drive all 15. So it was good.
Wow. So I guess you were the driver, then you were the passenger?
Yes.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
yes. So I mean, it wasn't bad. I love to travel. I love to be, on the road and getting out there. It's fun to me. So everybody thinks I'm nuts, but I think it's I think it's fun to be able to go and travel and do stuff like this.
It, it's interesting when you become like the wrestler and then you're the parent first, but then you're the wrestler also.
Yeah.
What's your like travel music like? What do you have? What's your playlist in the car on the way down?
Oh my gosh, my I always say that my playlist is bipolar because it goes from one extreme to another. I mean, it goes from like gangster rap to Frank Sinatra or, Grazing in the Grass or uh I don't know, Lita, Def Leppard, and then like more gangster rap.
Oh my god! I can see us like in the car like, and then it's just like fly me to
Yeah.
the and then we get copyright like.
That's exactly what
We'll be
it's
like sitting
like.
there, like the episode. You ever see what's that movie? You ever see is it Black Sheep or Tommy Boy when they're in the car and they're singing? They're singing in the car.
Yes, yes.
That would be us. We'd be like, yeah, and they're like, don't you tell me you ever remember, babe? Like crying in the car. Like, why are we crying? Because of the
Why are we
song.
crying?
It's supposed to be a
Yes,
playlist.
yes, yes. Oh my gosh. So there's moments where like I just want to be really zen and like focus on the scenery about where I am. So like I'll put on some like yoga music, just like meditation music. And then there are other times where I'm like in the city and I just need to get through it and I need to play something like more upbeat.
Yeah.
So it's my music's just all over the place.
Oh gosh. So do you like to use the GPS or do you like have exactly where the hotel is?
No, I have to use a GPS. If I don't use a GPS, my butt is lost.
Yeah.
There are times when I lose service and like say I stop at a gas station. Most of the time when I stop at a gas station and I go use the bathroom or whatever, I don't turn my GPS off. But then when I'm walking to the bathroom, it'll tell me, make a right here, and it's like super loud inside the gas station. So I'll turn my GPS off. And then when I get back in the car, like I won't have service and it won't tell me where I am. Then I'll
Mm,
really freak out because I can't like pull it up because I don't have any service. And then I don't know where I'm going, if I'm supposed to go left or right. And so most of the time I'm just, praying
yeah.
that I'm
Please
going the
don't be
right way.
dead. Like, please don't be dead. Don't be dead.
I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe if I just go a little bit, it'll come back on, and I'm hoping that I don't miss turns or miss an exit or whatever.
Yeah, I went to the PPW show this past Saturday, which was really, really, really fun. Really, really, really fun. That sound like what's his name from the Cubs. Really, really, really fun. So yeah, like I thought we had the right address, and it was like I think I told you we were driving and we passed this turn we always do, and in my mind, my my brain went panic mode because we were always supposed to turn and by this like weird turn. And my dad, no, my dad's like, no, it's telling us to go straight. So I'm like, oh my God, I know we're going the wrong way. We're going the wrong way. And we get to where the address tells us to go. It's to go over a bridge, and it just says, you have reached your destination. And I'm like, this is not the Slatington Expo Center. Oh no. No. So
I've
then we
done
had
that
another
before.
one, GPS, some reason go. I think the Google one was still going.
Uh-huh.
The other one stopped, and they went right to that one. It said 300 miles. And I was
Oh,
like, okay. So my dad's like, okay. So we just kept driving, went to where we were supposed to go. But man, it was horrible.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've gone to the wrong convention centers, and luckily I was only like about an hour out from the right one. So, what's he saying? What does that say?
Are all your bookings within driving distance, or do you fly to bookings as well?
I do fly to bookings as well. Uh, it just all depends on the promotion and what their budget is and if they're willing to fly the talent. So I do get flown a lot, but most of the time, like it's in the negotiation, like what you're willing to do. So um, if it's better for you to drive, because sometimes I have like multiple shows,
Mm,
and it's just not feasible. It's just not reasonable for me to fly sometimes because I can stop at certain shows along the way. Like uh this tour that I have this weekend, I'm going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, and then I'm going to be at the Derby, and then I'm going to be in Wisconsin. So uh it's just I wouldn't know how to manage those flights. So, and they're all different promotions, so it's not like it's all going to flow together. So it's just better just to drive.
yeah, it's always difficult with that kind of stuff. Like I, as a fan, having to drive to here and there, like we had to drive to Slatington, and I never get any wrestling shows in my area, so I have to travel at least an hour, 2 hours just to watch professional wrestling live. Like it stinks because there was the reason why I did that is something happened. The floor got scratched in the gym, and now they're forbidden from doing shows at the high school. Ay.
Happens. Yep, that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad that PPW does a show in an arena with cement, but then I kind of feel bad for the wrestlers when they have to get thrown out of the ring. You know? That's me and my buddy Justin watched the guy fly out of the ring and it was like, oh, and me and my buddy went,
Oh,
and that's professional wrestling, John. That's
yeah.
professional wrestling.
Yep.
So what
Definitely.
is like the toughest thing for you within the wrestling business that you've ever had to deal with within a match? Like jumping out the ring or like that kind of stuff?
I think the most difficult thing I've had to do in a match would be I don't want to say this in a bad way either. Like I would just say like if you had two girls that weren't as experienced
Okay.
and we had like a three-way match, that's pretty difficult. And but for the most part, you just want to make sure that everyone's safe and everyone has fun and that you're trying to uh get the point of the match across and get the crowd involvement. As long as
Yeah.
the crowd is engaged and they're having fun, and then you're doing your job. So that's the most difficult thing too, is like the newcomers that are coming in, they just want to get 1,000 moves in, and not necessarily uh tell a story of the match. And so that's a little difficult too, is trying to make them understand that they're going to see a gazillion moves throughout the show, and girls are a feature, and they'll be more engaged if you make sense of the match.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think that with professional wrestling being independent wrestling being so popular these days, and now after the pandemic, everything's back up and running again. Like, is it crazier to think that we were down for a year? with wrestling, and now everything's so popular again. Like
I know.
wrestling's so is it crazy to think that that wrestling's back again? Like the big balloon is back up again?
You know, I'm really happy that it's back up again. It is crazy because it was going in a direction where I was getting kind of worried with all the the television screens that were people.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, I hated that. Oh, I hated
That
that.
I was really worried about that because you got these self-serve things in the stores now. You got robots bringing your food in restaurants. You have uh these cars that don't need drivers picking you up now. And then now you see these shows where it's all people in the audience that are televisions. So it's like, what's happening? I'm really happy that that went away, and
Mm.
live people are coming back.
I I was scared because that's about the time I started the podcast. So I was kind of
Okay.
going, hmm, is this gonna be the way it is? But then I realized we started the podcast and wrestlers were able to do they're at home, so they're not like on the road or dealing with the scheduling because everybody's home. So when
Mhm.
you're on the road, do you have to like really focus in on your food? Like, do you have to like be able to pack a lunch? You go home, you know what I mean? Do you pack a lunch and a small dinner, small like a breakfast and a lunch, like the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and like in a separate bag for like the week that you'll be out?
Okay, this is a great subject for me. Uh, Being that I own a gym and I'm a personal trainer, and I'm supposed to be competing this year, um, it gets really difficult on the road to eat. So before any big trip that I have to meal prep, and I have to make sure that I have every single thing that I need while I'm on the road. Granted, I can stop and get, a chicken breast somewhere, but and I can stop at grocery stores and get what I need, but for the most part, you want to save money too. You don't want to have to be spending a whole lot of money on the road. So I have my own um little kitchenette that I take with me. So if I have to stay at a hotel, I have my own like little burner, my pots, my pans. I have everything I need to make food if I have to make my food.
Mm,
Um, and you can ask people that travel with me. Like I have all my food with me for about 4 days, about 4 days worth. And I have my ice packs. I have a cooler, and I just take everything with me. And it can get challenging because you have to remember all your food, plus like, all your gear, plus your clothes, plus your clothes that you might wear if you're doing like certain promos or whatever. So there's a lot that goes into just being on the road, period.
mm. Yeah, it's crazy for like a wrestler, like to do the traveling. You guys put your bodies on the line for our entertainment. So again, I'm always happy to talk to you, TG, and I'm gonna thank you so much for doing this for our like for us wrestling fans like to watch and get our entertainment. And for me and for all the wrestlers in the podcast, we want to thank you for doing this for your
Absolutely.
your career. Like, you know what I mean? Like on your side career because you have a gym. So, do you have any like stories for like of like any kids you've trained that are now in the business that you're like, wow, look at that person.
Oh yeah, there are a couple that they haven't made it to the show, but
Mm,
they are indeed uh making their way. And it's really uh just so gratifying. Like it's a great feeling to know that they started with you,
mm.
and then you're watching them on the indies, and you're watching their success, and you're watching them like have fun, and incorporate everything that you taught them, and
Hey,
watch them use it. So it's really fun. It's fun to watch.
that's another one of my podcast friends. He came in to say hi.
Hey, aloha.
He's a nice guy. He's cool. He's one of the peeps. He's one of the podcast fam.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you
Yes.
for
Happy.
joining.
Yes, thank you for joining. If you have any questions for TT, please comment below. Definitely tell your friends, share the link on your Facebooks or wherever you're watching it on YouTube. Share the link from there. Um, there's one wrestler I just was with like a few days ago. Her name is oh my gosh, I gotta remember her name. I'll go to the next question. So when you go on the road, do you ever collect anything of that area and stuff like that?
Yes. Okay. My big thing is I love sweatshirts. Like I love hoodies.
Same.
So yeah, so if I find a cool hoodie at especially at the other promotion, like if the other promotion has hoodies that they're selling, I definitely try to buy one. Uh because I just love them. I love lounging around in them. I had one on right before I came on here. So I live in them hot or cold. So,
Yeah, I have like tons of hoodies. I got like
yeah.
a Jets one, I have a Yankees one. I have one of Dudes at Ringside, but I left it at Sassy's house when I went to was supposed to go see her right before Christmas, and I got sick with the flu, and I couldn't
Oh
bring it.
no.
I left it at her house. I'm like, I'm gonna get it to me eventually. It never, it hasn't come in my possession. I wear that thing like a badge of honor. I'm like, it's just my
Yeah.
podcast. Really.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. I
It's
need to
like
get one for my gym too.
I gotta get some stickers from your gym to put them on the Ball of Fame here.
I know, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So I'm gonna get some stickers from the gym and stickers for my TT Island Girl gimmick, and I'm working on that, and I'm working on some new shirts. I'm also working on new promo pics because I my all my gear just came in, and
Ooh,
I'm so excited about it.
who
And
made it? Who made your gear?
Kyla Rockwear. Kyla
Hey,
Rock.
other Joe. That's another podcast friend. It's my buddy Joe. He's
Okay.
another awesome podcast.
Yeah, Kyla Rockwear, she made it, and she made two outfits. So one is a two piece and one is a one piece, and I absolutely love them. If you go on her Instagram page, you might be able to guess which one is mine. But I can't wait to wear it. I just have to do a little bit of alterations to it, and that's what's been holding it back. But I'm
Awesome.
also thinking about, maybe changing my hair color too.
Oh wow. Hey, everybody, Paul the podcast family has arrived. Hey,
Yeah.
let's go on over the top. Let's over the top talk. I'm here with TT, the Island Girl from OVW. Got any guys
Aloha.
have any questions for her? Comment below. Ask your questions to TT. She's an awesome wrestler, an awesome person to like.
Oh,
So
thank
when
you.
you first started TT, did you have this vision in your head that this character of TT the Island Girl was just gonna be like such a big thing? Or did you just think of it in a different way?
No, actually, when I first started out, it was kind of it just happened. Because, I was from Hawaii, and if you follow my career, you know that I used to go by a different name. And so that kind of just happened. And then uh, years later, when I started with OVW, they asked me, what's your wrestling name? And I said, this is a perfect opportunity to change my name. And so TT kind of just rolled off my tongue, and they were like, okay. And they ran with it. We ran with it, and it just kind of like took off. And
Mm,
I love it. So I that's how it was born.
awesome. Like when you first started as TT, did you at least had to like because you said you were a different character before, like did you have to try to find other gear really fast to wear, or did you already have something in the closet? You're like, oh, I could wear that with the new character.
Well, I had just gotten the gear that I'm wearing on OVW. So that was kind of brand new, but I was working so much that it just looks like it's ready to be hung up in the
Mm,
closet.
like retired, I guess.
Yeah, I need to get retired. So I need
Jeez.
to hurry up and finish that new gear so that I can start wearing that. But yeah, I didn't really change my character per se. It was just kind of my name. But I
Mm.
think that TT is a little more outgoing, and she's a little more experienced, obviously. And she's just ready to go for it now. She's all in.
So, did you ever envision that you'd be on like the world famous, like the statewide famous OVW, like what's going on with OVW now with the whole rise because of the Netflix special?
Well, I started with OVW,
Mm.
and I started with OVW back when my daughter was actually a year old, and she's 22 now. So you do the math.
Oh boy,
Uh, so,
math, please.
so that's when I was with OVW. That's when I started, and my first trainer ever, was Nick Densmore, Eugene. You know him as Eugene, and
Eugene.
yeah, and I was in the beginner class, and I had a 1-year-old and I had a 6-year-old. My son was
Mm.
6 at the time. And so he would babysit my daughter while I trained. And we trained at the old Danny Davis Arena. So that was the one that was in Ohio. So the contracted people got to train at the new arena, which was under the WWE developmental. And so after about a couple years went by, we moved to Deep South Wrestling, and that was in Georgia, and that's where I got signed.
Hmm.
And so Tommy Dreamer actually called me to sign me, and my trainer was Bill DeMont and Dave Taylor and Jody Hamilton. So those were the three influences in my life starting out in my career.
Mm. So since the episode was called Family Values, you were supposed to have your daughter, but she had something that happened.
Yeah,
Uh,
couldn't make it.
yeah. So how do you feel that your daughter is joining you on this trip in the wrestling business? Is it exciting? Is it like weird to know that your daughter is being is a wrestler like you?
When it first started happening, it was kind of like it wasn't happening. Like,
Mm.
does she really want to wrestle, or does she just like, is this a phase she's going through? That's kind of what I was thinking, because I just know how hard it is and everything that we went through. So the stages in which she went through, I was like, okay, is she going to make it past stage one?
Mm.
All right, is she going to make it past stage two? Is she going to make it and after like stage one and two, I was like, this girl's gonna make it. You
Mm.
know, watching her, what is it? Her hunger for the game of professional wrestling. You could just see it in her face. She was determined, and she was gonna do it with or without our help. And
Mm.
so I was actually thinking about hanging my boots up at the time when she was around 15 years old. I was thinking about just concentrating on my gym and focusing on, building this place. And then she mentioned that she wanted to be a wrestler. So I knew that I was far from retiring. And so I started going to training with her, and I started going on the road with her and doing matches with her until she finally just said, Mom, I think I'm ready to go on my own. And I said,
Mm.
okay.
Wow. Here we go. I have another question from the audience.
Do you
Can
know
you see
Brent?
it?
Yes. I know that name.
Okay.
Know the name. I would just have to see a face,
I
and then
wish
I'd
we
be
had a thing. It'd be funny if Facebook allowed you to show a picture. I'll be like,
I
That's not
know.
you. Or that
I
could end
think
bad. I
I
could see
think
that ending bad if they showed pictures. Like, well, no, can't show that picture. No, no. Yeah, it's so funny.
I
So
mean,
if you had to put a bulletin board map of everywhere that you've been, how many states has TT the Island Girl been to so
oh
far on the
gosh,
map?
a lot.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's a lot. Gosh, I've been doing this 22 years. So I guess I could tell you the places I haven't been.
Okay, there we go.
I mean, I haven't been to like Colorado. I haven't been to Utah. States over there. I haven't been over there.
Okay.
I have wrestled in California. I've wrestled in New Mexico. Let's see, Arkansas, Kansas, Memphis, South Carolina, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, uh, Florida, Louisiana, Texas. What am I missing? Alabama.
Mm.
Japan. I've wrestled in Japan. I've wrestled in Mexico. Um, I have not had the opportunity to wrestle in the UK or Canada, which in Puerto
Ooh,
Rico, which is really, I would love to get the opportunity to work in all three.
there you go. Anybody, if there's any Puerto Rico promotions out there watching the podcast, hola, hola, hola. You would want to try to get TT the Island Girl. She's pretty a big hot commodity, guys. I think your women's division
I
is
would
slow.
love to go. Yeah, I would love to go.
Have you ever met the other island girl that was in Glow before?
No, I have not.
Mm.
No, but I have met Leilani Kai, and I
Ooh.
love her. Like we even had the chance to work together, so that was really fun.
Oh wow, Milani
Yeah.
Kai.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
yeah,
Like, what kind of
super tough.
advice did she give you? Did you did you what kind of advice did she give you with like? 'Cause she's that name, Milani Kai. It's like,
She was just really humble and sweet, and just like she didn't really uh she we really didn't talk about wrestling, I don't think.
oh wow,
Yeah, I think we just talked about like what we were gonna do in the match, and then we had fun, um and how nervous we were, and I was like, why are you nervous? Like, what? Why are you nervous? And but I mean, every time we see each other, it's just like we're just old friends, and she's great. She's just super humble, sweet, and I love her.
awesome. So, have you ever been approached by like a younger wrestler backstage, and they're trying to ask people for advice, and they don't really get the advice they ask for, but then they see you and they know you've been in the business for like so long. Like, what kind of advice would you give to like an older wrestler, a younger wrestler
A
that
younger
needs to
wrestler,
like?
I would just say stay humble, and never stop learning, never stop going to training. Always, you're not above training. Like, you have to, number one, stay agile. Number two, keep your cardio up. And number three, like, you're always going to learn something new. I'm still learning because wrestling is always changing. It's always, people are always coming up with new things, and just being able to work with different people also, because everybody's different that you step in the ring with. Nobody is going to be the same, and everybody's techniques are different, and styles are different, and you just want to be able to uh, know how to protect yourself when you're in the ring, and know how um, to move your body when you're with different people. Because if you don't know, you're going to trip over your own feet, and you're going to uh, just feel awkward. So, I mean, the more people you work with, and the more you get in there, and train and practice and keep your body limber, the better you're going to be, because you're just continuing to train your body to just keep moving. And trust me, somebody my age should know this.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that like there's some young wrestlers that they don't like taking advice from wrestlers, and I find that silly because you guys have run the ropes for all those years, and a lot of them think they literally think that they know everything, and it's kind of crazy. I think the younger wrestlers now, they never ask for like advice. They'll never
Yeah.
ask. Some of them do. There's some that do. Can't say all of them. There's some that
Right.
do, but then there's some that don't.
And a
That
lot of them.
they don't. They don't ask for advice. But then if they see you, they're like, "Oh wow, she's been in the business for this amount of time, and it's cool to think that you have been in this business for like years, years, and like it's just crazy to think that wrestlers don't ask advice, and they should ask for more advice. So like what is like the craziest like thing a fan has ever asked you to autograph?
Oh gosh. What's the craziest thing they ever asked me to autograph? Huh. I guess their body.
Oh geez.
Yeah, I would have to autograph their arm or their leg or their shoe.
Hmm. Oh wow. A shoe.
But I can tell you that when I went to Japan to wrestle, I was very inappropriately groped by a
Oh my
wrestling
god.
fan who was a woman.
Oh, wow.
She came up to me in the crowd and like just fully like was amazed by my chest and fully groped me and was just talking to her friend and like her eyes were super big and uh I guess she was just very amazed.
Oh
I didn't
wow.
know what to do. I was kind of just frozen. Like, did that just happen? Okay.
Oh geez.
Let me
I would
just
have been
turn
like,
around and
dude,
walk away.
you're like hand booby, get out of here.
But it was like she was like, oh.
Like a magnet. Boom.
It was funny.
So how
That was
many
that.
matches did you do over there when you went overseas?
Oh gosh. Oh, so I went on two tours to Japan. And
Oh,
the first time I went, it was we had about three or four matches in that week. Uh yeah, because we did like a little tour on a bus. And then the second time I went, I think we did about the same amount, like three or four different ones. But then that one was special because it was a Hawaii versus Japan tour.
oh,
Yeah. And the I guess the last show that we did with the girls, my tag team partner was the legendary Aja Kong.
wow.
Yes, she was my tag team partner, and I was scared to death because she came in the locker room and they're talking about doing a tag team match, and I thought I was gonna have to wrestle against her, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is how it ends. But
Oh, God. Oh my god, no. Poor
I
TT
was
sitting
like,
there practically peeing her pants, thinking I have to wrestle this legend. I'm gonna screw this up. All right, this is where my
so,
career hits the wall.
so then her makeup artist came in and was painting her face, and I didn't know what was happening because they don't speak English, and I'm just in my little corner waiting for direction. And I see her getting her face painted, and then everybody's like talking about the match and whatnot. And then she comes up to me after, and her face is painted a half with the Hawaiian flag, and then half with like flowers. I have a picture of it on my Facebook, me standing next to her, and then she's wearing one of my pareos, one of my wraps, and so I had my wrap on and I had, my flower in my ear and she had her face painted Hawaiian style and we went out as tag team partners. I was like, whew, oh my gosh, such a relief. I was like, you're my
Mm,
tag team partner? This is so awesome. So
that's
yeah.
cool. That's a cool story. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that you panicked and worried first, and then you did it, and you just did it and did your match. So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
did you
And I
ever
don't even
get an interpreter to try to talk to her, like pick her brain about
know.
wrestling, or no?
No, because I don't even think like we went over the match. Like I think she was just like, okay, basically she told me she was going to tag me in and I was just going to go in there and clean house,
Mm.
and I was like, oh, okay. So she was going to start the match and they were going to do their thing and then tag me in and here I come. And then she was going to come in and we're just going to finish it off. So it was so long ago. I can't really remember. And I wish I had it like recorded. I
It
don't
was a house
know.
show that was like not on camera. Oh wow.
Well, I'm sure it was, but it's nothing that I've ever seen.
Mm.
There's no footage, and back then we didn't have cell phones to like record
Yeah.
stuff. We didn't
And they had that
have.
old humongous camcorder
Yeah,
that your mom had with the videotape. Like,
right.
you know what's crazy? People are like, "Oh, Joe, you could have did your YouTube show like recorded." I'm like, I don't know if my mom would be too happy to have me borrowing her camera to interview somebody. Or am I gonna get a microphone? These
Right.
shows weren't quiet back in the day. They were loud.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. Like back then, like I tell people because they're like, why don't you? How come nobody knows this about you? They always say that. They're like, nobody knows that you did this and you've done that and been here and been there. And I'm like, back then we didn't have social media. We had what, MySpace,
Yeah.
and then we didn't have cell phones. We had the like flip phones, but they didn't have all this technology.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, like, if you wanted to take pictures, you had your little portable camera or you had your little fancy camera with the little chip in it, but that's about it.
Yeah. Totally.
So
You're right.
there was no way to like film your everyday things like people do now. So I have all I have are pictures. That's all
Yeah.
I have.
It's crazy. It's crazy,
Yeah,
crazy,
it's come a
crazy to
long
think.
way.
We have come a long way. Seriously, a long way. It's almost insane to think how far we've come with media.
Right.
Like, it's crazy.
And there's no way for you to post either, like, hey guys, I'm going to Japan or I'm flying here today. Like if you wanted people to know, you had to call them and say, I'm on my way.
Yeah. It's like when I go to wrestling shows now, I'll try to go live at the venue, or now my parents are just like, don't say anything, just show up at the show.
Mm,
And I'm like, how am I gonna promote their show if I'm at home? Like going to the show, not saying anything. But then that's the cool surprise. Well, Joe's here. Like,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be me one day. I don't tell you that I'm coming to OVW and just come out to the ring and like, oh my god, Joe, you owe me $5. Give me them. Those glasses look like they're more than $30. What? No. I had a wrestler one time. He was a heel. He was wearing black glasses. He uses like whipped cream in his gimmick,
Uh-huh.
cream guy. He came out to the ring and he grabbed the glasses off, not these, the other ones, grabbed my glasses off my face and put them on like this. And he's like, oh my God, these things are so stupid. And I'm just like, what if you broke them?
Yeah.
I was scared because I didn't know what he was about to do. I didn't know
Right.
if he was gonna heel and break them on me,
Oh my
or he
gosh,
was just
glasses are
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, these right here are from Amazon. My mom got me
Okay.
them off Amazon, and and I wear them, and people now know me as the red glasses wearing guy, and they're like, "Oh, that's Joe," and I'm just like, "Man, I could have worked on this and had this for years." Like, people would have known me everywhere. When I got my new pair of glasses, I said to my mom, "I want to get red ones," and she's like, "No, you're not getting red glasses, so you could be distracted at work."
Right.
That's work you, that's not podcast you. And I'm like, okay. So when you're out, when you're not wrestling and you're not at your gym and you're out, like, hanging out or shopping, have you ever been recognized by like waiters or like people out in the mall and stuff like that?
Yes, I have. And what's funny is because I do travel so much that people will come up to like there was one time I was in Hawaii and somebody came up to me and recognized me. And they were like, "Oh, you're that you," and I think I was on the Big Island actually. And I live on Oahu. I don't live on the Big Island. And we were in the mall in the Big Island and somebody came up and recognized me. So that was kind of cool. But people come up to me all the time, like if I'm at a mall, especially, and they recognize me. But then they don't actually know where they recognize me from.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, they're just like, you look so familiar. Or especially around this town, because I had a client who came in today and she said, you look so familiar. My We looked you up and they found my gym and they didn't know where they knew me from. And we were trying to figure it out because I used to work at Gold's Gym. I used to work at Anytime Fitness. I used to work at a Clayton State University, um, and LA Fitness, but they didn't know me from any of those gyms. So I was like, well, are you guys wrestling fans? But no. So it's it happens all the time. People recognize me wherever I go, and sometimes, like I said, they know they've seen me, they just don't know where they see me from.
Mm. Well, TT, do you have any upcoming shows that you want to promote before we go?
Yes, I have OVW this Thursday, which is always live on YouTube that you can catch at 7 p.m. And then we're going to be at the Derby, doing gosh, I'm drawing a blank, but we're going to be there on Friday. And then Saturday I'm in Wisconsin
Oh
for
wow.
GLCW.
Mm,
Yeah,
awesome.
so it's going to be a long weekend,
I'm
but
wishing
I'm
you all the
excited.
best of luck, TT. You got this, girl.
Thank you. Thank
Hit
you
that
so
with that ener-
much.
hit that with that energy. Don't forget, everybody. If you want to follow TT on social media, TT, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, at the Island Girl TT. You can go on Facebook. It's IGTT. So that's IGTEETEE. But let me just make something really clear. So Facebook wouldn't allow me to just put double T's. They had I had to spell it out that way, but my name, the way you spell it, is just a T and another T. That's it. It's not
Mm,
TITITEETE. It's just TT. That's it.
mm,
But
awesome.
yeah, so I'm on there, and then I'm on TikTok as the Island Girl TT as well.
Awesome. You said you don't have any merch yet, but do you have anything that the fans want to pick up? They wanted to purchase anything?
I actually do have some merchandise. I have t-shirts that I'll be taking with me this week. I have foam shaka hands, the big foam ones that you can put
Cool.
on and wave around. I have those. I have light up lays for the kids. They always love those. I have little pineapple drinking cups for the kids. They come with really pretty straws. I have lays, shell lays, like actual authentic shell lays from Hawaii, and then pictures.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome, TT. Again, I'm sorry we couldn't have the other half of the fam on. Maybe during the middle of the summer we could do a part two family values too. This time with the other half. No, it was kind of crazy not having her on. I would have loved to
I
have
know, I
hear from
know.
her again. And she was part of this. I was like, oh my god, we're gonna have her
I know. I
back.
was excited because everybody thinks like we still like live together or we live by each other, and we don't. And I never get to see her. So the only time I really ever get to see her is if we're booked on a show together, or you know, just every once in a blue moon we'll call each other up, and if we're free, which is very rare that we're free on the same around the same time, we'll try to get together and go, shopping or go eat or something like that. But I was excited because, I never get to see her, and I
Yep. Well, our guest, I guess her phone must have died, or she lost reception. But thanks, fans, so much for coming on. I really hope that you're subscribed, or you just push the subscribe button, help your brother out, help your Panther out. I'm almost there at the main about subscribers that I need. So thank you so much for coming in today. I'm Joe Panther III. That was TT, the Island Girl, and we will catch you in the next one.